Welcome back to Benchwire Week 4 NFL predictions. I am joined here by Steve, as always. And today, as I pretty much said about 5 seconds ago, we are going to predict this week's games, the outcomes, and then probably try to see if we can mention maybe somebody that we think will be an X factor in the game. We'll see.
X factors. Ooh, this is new.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting take, and
X
we're already
I'll just
taking
say the quarterback of every team.
Listen, we're already taking a risk at saying the predictions. We might as well see if we could double it up by
let's
picking
see.
a player to go off.
Okay,
So,
I like that. So let's
yeah,
get the
we'll get
games.
right into it.
There's the games.
Thursday night.
Thursday night, baby. That's tomorrow already.
Read those records and say the game.
All right, the record of the Lions is 2-1, and the record of the Packers is 2-1. Lions are at Packers.
Actually, I want to see if we could do something. Go ahead, click that. I want to see if I can.
Oh.
There we go. So on the screen, it's zoomed in for them. You could center that a little bit better.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Regardless,
Lions and Packers.
Yeah,
Who's
2-1
winning?
teams in the
NFC North.
NFC North division.
It's gonna be fun.
It's going to be a good game. Green Bay, obviously, they got the home field advantage. Lambeau Field's a pretty difficult place to go into. But I think, the Lions are built a little bit different this year. I like Dan Campbell a lot. But you really cannot count out Matt LaFleur and the Packers.
Matt LaFleur.
Jordan Love has been playing pretty good. I would say his stats are probably a little bit better than what they should be. But, I'm not really going to sit here and try to discredit him. I'm not sure if Aaron Jones is back.
He is back.
He is back.
Christian Watson is back.
Okay.
David Bakhtiari is ruled out.
Okay.
And
so
then
that's a big loss then.
Their left guard's out. Jenkins out.
Elton Jenkins.
Yeah.
So their two best offensive linemen are out, and that's going to make things very difficult for Jordan Love. It also will make things difficult for Aaron Jones, who tends to run to that left side of the O-line. I think with what you just said with those two linemen being out, I'm going to go with the Lions.
Going with the Lions. So who's your X factor?
Aiden Hutchinson. I think Aiden Hutchinson can dominate. I'm not entirely sure which side he'll line up on. I think he's normally on the left side, which would be the right side of their O-line, so he probably won't get to go against the new guys, but regardless, amazing player. So
Had to include the X factor.
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I had to pick a team, probably pick the Lions. Big fans of them this year. I think they have the chance of winning the division now that the Vikings started out 0-3. So I'm really liking what Dan Campbell's doing. My X factor, I'm going to say Sam Laporta, the rookie. I think he's going to have a big game. I don't know if the Packers have great linebackers.
you don't think Quay Walker is going to be able to handle him?
Nah, Quay Walker's overrated, man. I don't think he's that great. I think Sam Laporta, he's been a safety blanket for Jared Goff. So far in his first 3 games, I think he will continue to throw in the ball, and he will be the man, the X factor for Thursday Night Football. So That's my X factor.
So the next game that we got is a nice morning game.
3-story game.
Jags. Yeah, Falcons, Jags.
ESPN Plus, if you have it.
Obviously in London is the Jaguars' home, I guess. But yeah, 2-1 Falcons, 1-2 Jags. I think the Jags are going to get back on track. They're going to go to 500. I think that they're just too good of a team to continue this, they're not playing as well as they should have. They lost to the Chiefs, and then they just lost to the Texans. Can't happen, they got such high aspirations. So I think they'll get back on track. Falcons, I think they're overachieving a bit. They have ways to go as well, but the Jags, I think the Jags will be the winners here. And I think the X Factor, I'm going to go with kind of a weird one, Trayvon Walker. I think, obviously he was the first overall pick, last year?
Yes, he was.
So, he's a great player, and he had a good game against the Colts. So I'll hope to see him get back on track against the Falcons.
Okay, I like that. I think the Falcons right now, their record's too pretty. They should have lost the game before, but they didn't because the Packers suck. But if I had to pick a team, give me the Jags. I think Doug Peterson will get them back on track. Trevor Lawrence has played some tough defenses to start the year, and I don't think the Falcons have a great defense. So I think Trevor Lawrence will take advantage of that. My X factor, Give me Travis Etienne. I think Travis Etienne will have a big game against his Falcons D-line. You got an old man in Calais Campbell. I don't think he's that great anymore. I just don't. And then you got Grady Jarrett. They're okay. I think Travis Etienne, he hasn't had a great game yet to start the season, so expect a big game out of him this week against the Falcons. So I got the Jags.
All right, we got the Dolphins at the Bills heading into, I don't even know the field's name anymore because I think they changed it. Highmark Stadium.
I know that because there was a guy in my sports comm class that came and visited us, and he did a sponsorship with the Bills, and he told me that Highmark Stadium was their name.
So, anyways, the Dolphins 3-0, Bills 2-1. Bills played a lot better the last 2 weeks. Obviously, they've beaten the Raiders at home, and then they've also beat the Commanders away. They lost to the Jets week 1. They looked a lot better last week. They blew out the Commanders. The Commanders don't have a awful defense, too. So
they've been blowing teams out since that week 1 loss.
Yeah, I like the Bills, but I think the Dolphins are the better team this year. I do think the Bills can challenge them for the division, but like I said, I believe in the podcast, I think the Dolphins are going to win the division, and in order to do that, they're going to have to win games like this, and that's why I'm going to have them win it. I think that they're just really good, and Tyreek Hill, I don't necessarily know if Tre'Davious White has the speed to be able to keep up with that. Same with Jalen Waddle and all that, so it's just going to be tough for them, and I think it just kind of leans in the Dolphins' favor.
So who's your X Factor?
My X Factor, let's go Jalen Waddle. Let's give Jalen Waddle a game. I don't know if he's playing, but if he is, he's
have another X Factor if he's not playing.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay.
I think he's going to win MVP this year.
Wow. All right. I'm going to go the other direction. I have the Bills over the Dolphins. Now, the Bills, they've been hot as of late. I know the Dolphins have been really hot, but that's going to end because the Bills are playing at home. I think they split this year. I think the Bills take this game. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Josh Allen so far the past 2 games. He's limiting the turnovers. Diggs has been involved, and they just have a great chemistry. My X Factor in this game, I got Stephon Diggs. I think he's going to have a great game. I know he's going against Xavier Howard, but I think he is going to show him why he's a top 5 receiver in this league, and I think Xavier Howard's on the downfall, so give me the Bills.
All right, we got the 0-3 Vikings heading into Carolina to take on the 0-3 Panthers. I believe Bryce Young is back, and I want to say he is. He might be questionable still.
I think he's been limited in practice.
Yeah, it might be a game-time decision if he does play, but I think regardless, the outcome is the same. Whether
someone's
going to
win a game.
Yeah, whether it's Andy Dalton or not, I think the Vikings are going to win the game. They're due for a win. They aren't a bad team by any means. They just don't have the strongest of defenses. Daniel Hunter's playing excellent this year, and I think that he's going to be a big factor, probably the X factor in this game against the Panthers with such a mediocre O-line. They got maybe 1 or 2 guys that I think could be decent pieces on a good O-line, but other than that, the rest are kind of throwaways, no offense. So, yeah, I think the Vikings will go ahead and get this win.
I got the Vikings as well. They're too good not to have a win right now. They lost. They lost to the Bucks.
Chargers.
They should have won that game, and they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah, Chargers, Bucks.
They should be 2-1 right now. They should be, but they're not. Kirk Cousins playing like a top 5 quarterback. I'll keep saying that on every video. He is the number 1 passer in the league right now with yards and touchdowns. But this is an Adam Thielen revenge game, so I'm expecting a big game out of Adam Thielen. And especially since Jonathan Mingo's hurt right now, I think Adam Thielen will get the targets and be that man for the Panthers with the Swiss cheese defense that the Vikings have. But I have the Vikings in this game and expect... Who's my X Factor? I'm trying to think. TJ Hawkinson. I think TJ Hawkinson, he's going to have a great game. He's been great so far to start the season. He's going to keep that up. And Kirk Cousins loves him. So give me the Vikings.
All right. We got the 0-3 Broncos going into Chicago, who are also 0-3.
This is awful.
Yeah, another team that's going to end up getting a win. Or maybe not. No.
They're going to tie.
Yeah, so, listen, the obvious choice here is the Broncos. The Broncos have played a lot better, and I feel like this is such a game where if you wanted to throw a little bit of money out there and try to, make some money, I'd bet on the Bears to win. Just because it seems like one of those games where it's just like, it's got to be the Broncos, right? But it could be the Bears. And I did consider taking the Bears, but I think I have to go Broncos still. I think that they're just a lot better. They just got 70 hung on their head, but I think that they are the better team than the Bears, and Justin Fields just hasn't lived up to his expectations this year, and I think that it's kind of weighing on him a bit. So they're going to have to, Bears, they're going to have to get back on track another week. I don't think it's to be this week. Broncos will get their first win with Sean Payton. X Factor, Jerry Jeudy.
Okay.
Disagree, actually, because I'm not starting him for a reason. Javonte Williams.
Okay. I have the Bears. I think the Bears will beat the Broncos, the sorry-ass Broncos. They're going to be 0-4. I do not like what the Broncos are doing right now. They're playing crappy football. You don't lose to a team 70-20. That is unheard of. That happened 4 times in NFL history. 4, and they were one of them. I think Justin Fields will have himself a day. I think running the ball, not like a passing day. He's going to be elite running the ball, and we're going to see flashes of what we saw from him last year. So he's my X factor in this game. Give me the Bears. Sean Payton, your ass. Russell Wilson, learn how to play football. Learn how to cook.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see the Bears winning this game as well. I think the Broncos is the obvious pick, and I think that when you're going against the Bears, you kind of have to go the obvious pick. We got the 2-1 Ravens heading into Cleveland, who's also 2-1. The Browns, they look a bit better. Deshaun Watson finally had a decent game. And that's a step in the right direction for them. But unfortunately, I do think the Ravens are going to win this. I think they're just the better team. They have some injuries going on right now, but they tend to figure it out anyways. Zay Flowers has been electric this year so far, his rookie season. And I think he's going to play a big factor in this game. I know they got Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, all those guys, but I don't know. I have a feeling that Zay Flowers is going to do some work against the Browns, and he's going to help them get a win.
So X Factor, Zay Flowers? Okay. I'm going to go the other direction. I have the Browns. I think the Browns' defense will be too much for this Ravens offense. Right now, they're relying on Melvin Gordon possibly to start this game. I don't think Melvin Gordon's that good anymore. So I'm liking what the Browns are doing on defense. Deshaun Watson, he's getting a rhythm now. What's the guy's name? What's the running back's name? He's been pretty good. Ford. Jerome Ford. And Kareem Hunt, they got him as well. They got Amari Cooper. They got receivers. They got playmakers. I think the defense will give Lamar Jackson fits, and I think they will win this game because of that. My X factor is Myles Garrett. So there you go.
Lamar will run away from him.
We will see.
The 2-1 Steelers head into the 1-2 Texans. I wouldn't count out the Texans here, to be completely honest with you. C.J. Stroud has played really, really good, and their defense isn't the worst. I mean, you do think that the Steelers would probably go in and win this, obviously, with C.J. Stroud having that, offensive line that has given up a ton of sacks thus far this season. You'd think that T.J. Watt's probably going to get a few. But, I think that if I had to go with an upset of the week, it would be the Texans over the Steelers. And I'm going to choose the Texans over the Steelers. I think they're going to figure it out.
Wow.
I think Matt Canada has a big reason to do with that as well. I think we're just going to see the offense struggle.
So your X factor is?
My X factor is going to probably be C.J. Stroud. I think that he's just going to have a really good game again.
Give me the Steelers. I think the Steelers are the better team. I know C.J. Stroud has been great and all, but who's going to protect C.J. Stroud other than Laramie Tunsil? Who's going to do it? Their O-line is not that great. T.J. Watt has been on a tear. He has 6 sacks on the season. Kenny Pickett looked pretty good last game. The offense was moving. They got Pat Freiermuth and company. I'm liking what I'm seeing from George Pickens. They need to get Najee more involved. He's been having a slow start to the season. And I think the Steelers' defense will be too much for this Texans' offense. And I got the Steelers, and my X factor is Mr. T.J. Watt.
All right, the 1-2 Rams head into Indianapolis, who is 2-1. Rams coming off a pretty tough loss against the Bengals. Still don't have Cooper Kupp. Puka Nacua, I believe he might have tweaked something. I don't know if I saw that correctly or what.
I know before the game he tweaked his oblique, but he was playing, so I don't know if he did something after the game.
Regardless, though, the Rams, listen, they hung in there against the Bengals, who've been struggling this year. The Colts, I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Colts. These two are similar teams in where they're kind of in this gray area. I mean, the Colts, more rebuilding team, obviously, but I think Shane Steichen is a really good coach, and I think for that reason, he's going to get out coached by Sean McVay. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think that, like I said, Shane Steichen's been coaching really good this year. Sean McVay, I just don't think that they have the pieces right now to compete. Like I said, they're in this gray area. I think that we're starting to realize what they're going to become. Can't really name a lot of guys on that defense either, other than Aaron Donald. I just don't think they have the pieces. I'm not sure how much coaching can change that. And I think the Colts kind of have an underrated roster.
And your X Factor?
Let's go to Forrest Buckner.
All right. If I had to pick a team, I think the Rams are going to win this game. So we're doing a little flip-flopping here, which I like. I think the Rams and Sean McVay will be more prepared for this game. I think Sean McVay will outcoach Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen has been great to start the season, but the Rams are coming to town. And I think Matthew Stafford will have a better game than last week. He did not have a great game against the Bengals, but I think he'll step it up. And Puka Nacua, he's been great. Last week wasn't so hot, but I think he has another game where he's going to go off. I think he's going to have at least over 100 yards in this game. I really do. And Tyler Higbee, I think he will be the X Factor. Tyler Higbee will be my X Factor in this one, and I got the Rams.
All right, I'm actually thinking I'm going to switch it back over to the Rams.
No, I was just saying we're flip-flopping. It was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it depends, because if Anthony Richardson starts, that's where I think it's going to be a more difficult. But if Gardner Minshew were to start, I think Colts could have a decent chance. I think Richardson's going to be back. It was concussion protocol. So with that being said, I'm going to go with the Rams. The next one, we got the Bucs at Saints. Alvin Kamara is back, which is big for the Saints. They really needed that offensively. Don't really know what's going on with Derek Carr. Didn't see an update yet about that.
I think he's week to week, I believe.
Yeah, week to week.
He's probably not playing this game.
It's going to be Jameis.
It's going to be Jameis.
Jameis versus his old team. Listen, I think that the Bucs are going to win this game, and the Saints are going to be able to hang in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to the wire, but I don't think that Jameis Winston is capable of winning this game against a good defense. I just don't see it. And I think that an X factor for the Bucs is going to be Chris Godwin this game.
Okay.
Please.
I think the Saints get it done. I think the Saints are the better team. Jameis Winston revenge game. He wants to win this game, and I think they do it. I think Michael Thomas and Chris Olave will play a big part. The Bucs defense did not look that great against the Eagles. I know the Eagles got a great O-line and all that, but I think they know what their weaknesses are. They're out there on tape, and I think the Saints will put that to the advantage. They're going to use more Taysom Hill this game now that they know that Jameis Winston's playing, so expect some action from Taysom Hill. My X Factor, I would probably let's go Alvin Kamara. First game back, I think he's going to prove something and prove that he's still a top 10 back in this league. So give me Alvin Kamara, give me the Saints over the Bucs.
All right, we got the 2-1 Commanders heading into Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, who are 3-0. The Commanders coming off a pretty rough loss against Buffalo. And they're going against another top team in the league, in the Eagles. I think it's going to probably result the same way. I kind of expect a little bit of a blowout. I know the Commanders have kind of had our number the last few years, at least keeping it close, right? But I just think that we're a lot better. And I think that Sam Howell is not Taylor Heineke. He's still learning. Heineke just Heineke kind of just figured it out pretty quickly. So Yeah, I think Sam Howell's going to have a rough day. And my X factor for the Eagles is going to be Jalen Carter.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Eagles as well in this one. I think the Commanders, they're lucky that they're 2-1 right now. They're not that great of a team. Sam Howell got exposed last week. He threw 4 interceptions, and I told you, he's not that great. Who they beat? I believe they beat the Bears and then the Broncos, right? Both teams 0-3. So that proves something right there. I got the Eagles. They've been dominating so far with the tush push, the brotherly.
It was the Cardinals, not the Bears.
Cardinals, my bad. Cardinals, they're 1-2 now, but Eagles, yeah. I have my X factor for the Eagles will be Dallas Goedert. They haven't really got him involved. I think they do that this week, and he's going to be a fun one to watch. So give me the Eagles.
All right, Bengals heading to Tennessee to take on the Titans, both 1-2 teams. I think the Bengals kind of got themselves back on track with that win. It seemed like one of those things where they kind of just need to get that one win to kind of give them some momentum. Titans, I don't know, man. I like Mike Vrabel, but I just don't think that they have the roster right now. Yeah, they actually might, now that I think about it, but I don't know. The Titans are kind of confusing right now. They just aren't able to hang in there with certain teams, and I think with that being said, I'm going to choose the Bengals, and I think that T. Higgins will bounce back. He had a few drops that were kind of costly. Could have made things look a little bit easier, so yeah.
So you think T. Higgins will be the X factor? Okay. Bengals over Titans in this one. I got the Bengals. Joe Burrow. He had a shaky game last game, but he got the job done. He didn't look bad off that hurt calf. I think he got the job done, hung in there, made throws. Jamar Chase looked great. He's back to being that top 5 receiver that we know he is. Yeah, the Titans, they haven't been that great. Derrick Henry had an off game. But if I had to pick an X factor for the Bengals, give me Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon will have a game. The Titans' run defense hasn't been great so far to start the year. I think Joe Mixon and Bengals will take advantage of that.
All right, the 1-2 Raiders head into the 1-2 Chargers. Raiders, they're kind of a mess right now. So are the Chargers, right? But the Raiders are more of a mess. Chargers, it's kind of just coming down to coaching. They're able to hang in there. They finally got their win. Justin Herbert, he's a great quarterback, and I think he's going to be able to just help this team get a nice, I'd say, 10 to 13-point win over the Raiders. And my X factor for them is going to be Joshua Palmer.
Yeah, because he's going to be stepping in there for Mike Williams, who just tore his ACL, so I like that pick. Yeah, I got the Chargers as well. The Raiders did not look great that last week against the Steelers. I know the Steelers have a pretty good defense, but Jimmy Garoppolo did not look like himself in that game. So, yeah, I got the Chargers. Keenan Allen looked great last week. He looks like he can still be that top 10 receiver that we all know that he is. If I had to pick an X factor, I don't know if Eckler's playing in this game, so I'm going to say he's not. My X factor, give me Justin Herbert. I think he's a guy that is still a really great quarterback. He's just been losing these games recently, and I think they'll get back on track and be 500 after this game. So give me Justin Herbert.
All right, Patriots versus Cowboys. The 1-2 Patriots and the 2-1 Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are going to win, obviously. Patriots kind of don't have an identity offensively. I don't know what that comes down to. I don't know. I watched the Patriots, and I'm a little bit confused as to what they want to do. I mean, do they want to run? Do they want to throw? I can't really tell. And, yeah, I just think the Cowboys' defense is going to be able to slow them down, whereas the Cowboys' offense should be able to put up some points against the Patriots' defense that, although well-coached, not really sure if they have the players other than like Judon, Christian Gonzalez, and maybe a few other guys. But, yeah, they got the Cowboys, and I think an X factor for this game is going to be Brandon Cooks. I think he's finally going to get involved. I think Christian Gonzalez on CeeDee Lamb is a really good matchup. Should be able to slow down CeeDee a bit, and that's where Brandon Cooks can kind of do his thing.
Cowboys at Patriots at Cowboys. I got the Cowboys. I think they'll get back on track this week. They shouldn't have lost that game. The Cardinals just outright beat them. If I had to pick an X factor for this game, give me Jake Ferguson, the tight end. I think he will get more involved in the offense. He'll get some red zone opportunities, and I really like the matchup against the Patriots this week. So give me Jake Ferguson and the Cowboys.
All right, the Cardinals at 49ers. Got the 49ers, going to keep it nice and simple. Again, Cardinals, they've been able to hang in there. Don't think they'll be able to do it against a team like the 49ers, especially a team that knows how they play and knows their personnel. Yeah, I got the Niners, and I think George Kittle's going to have another good game.
Give me the Niners over the Cardinals. Pretty easy decision right there. They are probably the most complete roster, them and the Eagles, like in the NFC right now, and they've been playing perfect football. Christian McCaffrey's been on a tear. George Kittle. The whole offense, the whole defense, they've just been great. Give me the Niners, and my X factor, I will probably say Christian McCaffrey. I think he'll have another big game in this one, so give me the Niners.
All right. And then Chiefs heading to MetLife, take on the Jets. This was supposed to be Mahomes versus Rodgers, but it's Mahomes versus Zach Wilson. Yeah, I think the Chiefs, they're going to win the game. Again, another one I'm just going to keep nice and simple. I think Travis Kelce is going to be the X factor. I mean, offensively, other than Mahomes, it's really just Kelce. They have a good O-line, but again, other than that, it's just Kelce. So, yeah, I think that Kelsey's going to play the biggest factor. He's going to get 2 touchdowns. I give him.
Because Taylor Swift's going to be in attendance at MetLife. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs over the Jets. The Chiefs are looking good. The Jets are not looking good. It's plain and simple. My X factor for the Chiefs would probably be, I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jerick McKinnon has a game. They're going to get him involved in the receiving game and expect big things out of Jerick McKinnon. It's like a hot take, but not really. I don't know.
All right. And then last but not least, Monday Night Football, Seahawks at New York Giants.
My guys.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are going to win. I think that this is a game. If you're the Giants, you need to win this game. Considering your upcoming opponents being like the Bills and Dolphins and whatnot. But I think the Seahawks are going to win the game. And I think that Kenneth Walker's going to have a really good game. I think Dexter Lawrence, listen, he's one of the best D-linemen in the league. But other than that, I don't know if their D-line has been all too impressive for what I've seen.
They have not.
So I think that's kind of where a guy like Kenneth Walker can step in and he'll have some electric runs, kind of like a Breece Hall type game, where it's like you got that big run, then a few other good runs, some touchdowns. You know how it is.
I think the Giants bounce back this week. I think they really do. They're playing a Monday night game. Daniel Jones isn't great at prime time, but it's not really Daniel Jones. It's the whole team. The whole team hasn't been great. They're getting some healthy players back. Andrew Thomas is back. Who else? Ben Bredesen. So the 2 people on the left side, the offensive line, left tackle and left guard, are back for this game, and that will be crucial for the Giants. And I think they do win this game. My X factor is Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones gets the job done and wins them Monday Night Football game. So there you go. I don't think Saquon plays this game, by the way.
Well, anyways, that's all we got, man. That's all we got. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. Link tree down below with all of our socials. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, you know it.
Yeah,
Benchwire.
Out.